is Benzinga Live. Spencer Israel and producer AB. What's up, everybody? How we doing?
Someone told me buy high, sell higher.
Let's get Meta Hammond on the show to talk some IPOs. Jake Wujasek from Trend Spider. We have a
breaking news. What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Ruell's Report. We've had a couple week hiatus with it being Labor Day a couple weekends ago, and then last week we were busy with the Benzinga Cannabis Capital Conference, which was awesome. But it's even better to be back with you, Ruell. How you doing, man?
Pretty good, brother. You?
Pretty good. So a lot has happened in the crypto market the past 2 weeks since we've last done this show. Bitcoin still trading below $20,000 at my latest, below 19 right now. So the big question out here right now, and we got up to, I'm looking at the chart right now, around 22,000 September 12th. So in the last 7-8 days or so, we've drawn down more than 10%. A lot of people are worried we could be going lower. What do you think, Ruell?
Well, first we had the Ethereum merge, which I knew was going to be kind of like fool's gold. I think I said that on here with Luke a couple weeks ago that it was going to run for the Ethereum merge and then right after the merge dump. And that's exactly what happened. So now we're at the like 18K-ish area, and I think we're probably going to go lower for sure. Biden just dropped some more like crypto regulation. I think like certain cryptos are mentioned in it. Just from the whole trend of what the chart looks like, doesn't look that great. And then coming up towards the end of the year here, I think we're going to have people rebalance their portfolios. So I think, yeah, we're gonna go lower.
Yeah. So how are you playing this? Are you, going cash? Are you adding to your Bitcoin positions?
Well, basically, I'm going to try to just like average down because the goal for me personally is the Bitcoin halving coming up here in 2024. And that might seem like a long way away, but it'll be here before we all know it. And basically, I'm just building my bags and different cryptos. I'm also building my bags and different crypto miner stock as well.
Got it. Well, here, I'll go ahead and get your screen pulled up. I know you had some charts for us, so let's start going through those, and then we'll open up the chat for to see if we have any questions.
Okay, let's do it.
All righty, so we're looking at Bitcoin here. What indicators do you have on?
So what I have on is the Wyckoff, the Yan fans, which I love, and the RSI.
Okay.
The Gan fan, we're already kind of out of that level. It's like off the Gan fan right now as far as the day goes. The Wyckoff, it looks like it's trending towards coming back a little bit. But if we look here at, I also have the EMAs on. If we look here at the EMAs, it seems like the trend, and it follows with the RSI here. The trend is down, and I kind of just expect it to continue to go down here, probably even to 17. That's the real big market that we're watching right now, like 17.5, 17.4. After that, man, after that, probably 15.
You think we're going all the way down to 15?
If I was to make a bold prediction, yes, I'd say down to 15. If you're just telling me to make a prediction, but of course, I always like to be like cautious and be like, okay, let's see if it goes past 17 first, the 17.4 mark first. But yeah, and if we kind of go back in the chart here, I think 15 is kind of the last marker I think we hit in 2017. Yeah, here it is over here. Yeah, what's that high? Yeah, like about 15. Yeah, that's like a little bit low there. So like 15, 16 right here. Yeah, that's the next point after this 17 here is right here. So yeah. Um, what I had pulled up for us is I wanted to look and see what Biden, what they said lately about the crypto enforcement. And this is a lot of the reason why I switched a lot of my portfolio into things that the World Economic Forum has, because the World Economic Forum is probably going to lead the whole crypto regulation, despite whatever we hear about the SEC targeting LCX. I don't think that's, I think that's to throw you off of it a little bit. But yeah, let's kind of see what Biden has in store here. Um, Most people have said that Ethereum's kind of being viewed as a currency now.
Wait, hold
Um,
on. Before we get into regulation, I want to bring up this comment from GT. He says,
sure.
charts me nada till tomorrow, unfortunately. Do you agree?
Okay. What's going on tomorrow? What does he say is going on tomorrow?
Well, we got two big things.
Okay.
First, 1 a.m. Eastern time, so probably about 11 p.m. your time. Putin's talking. We don't know
Okay.
what he's going to say. The expectation is that, and this is the first time he's addressing the public since February, but this was kind of a surprise that came out today. The market reacted kind of negatively to it. The stock market did, I should say. I'm not sure how the crypto markets reacted to it. That's the first thing. It's kind of expected that he's going to announce a full mobilization against Ukraine. I think some might have some negative reaction, but I don't know how that's any different than what's already been going on, to be honest with you.
Right.
The second thing, probably more importantly to the conversation, what GT was talking about is the FOMC announcement at 2 and subsequently the press conference at 2:30 with Jerome Powell. The expectation here is that we will be raising 75 basis points. On the high end, it might be 100. And the markets, both the stock market and Bitcoin would probably go down, pretty heavily on if we go 100 basis points. I think they're going to go 75. But either way, but whether they go 75 or 100, it will most likely be more about how, Powell's tone and how he's talking about it. Is he going to say, we're fully committed to bringing down inflation, even if that means, raising rates until we get a recession, which he might say because they want to bring inflation down that bad. Or he might say, hey, we're going to raise rates again, and then we're going to become data dependent and see if inflation comes down.
Yeah, I agree with you in all of those points. And I mean, I always like to stray away from using futures and stuff like that. But if someone was like, not financial advice, if someone wanted to be a little risky, they could like bet on like short futures on stuff like Bitcoin. But I'm not personally gonna do it. Um, yeah, I think he'll probably just raise rates again, which will mean that both crypto and stock would go down, which I don't know if you want to like short something or yeah, if you want to short something, that might be something, or put in a put on something. But those are all derivatives, and I like to kind of stay away from those. Oh God, I was going to say something else. Oh, okay. It's also good for the housing market. Even though the mortgage rates are up, the costs for houses keep going down. And, if you want to buy a house, like it's becoming like a better and better time. Of course, that means your mortgage rate's going to be high, but you can always refinance your mortgage. So I think it's more important that the houses, the purchase price for houses goes down.
Got it. All right, so let's get back to where you were going before we started talking about the two big events tomorrow.
So Biden said some more things about regulation, and it just depends on where you are with this, because does it really mean that much, right? Um, Bitcoin is held by a lot of companies that are publicly traded, like MicroStrategy, which recently bought more Bitcoin. Um, we still got El Salvador like having Bitcoin as like its national coin, and then we have like CBDCs like kind of around the corner. I'm not sure that the regulation is going to mean much. Here we see that it says the Treasury Department will lead a group of government agencies that will consider a central bank digital currency. And if you come on over here to my channel, I've said over and over and over again that CBDCs are coming. And there's certain material where you can see that CBDCs are coming. They're going to test it out here in the mid 2023. They've actually begun testing this year, but 2023 is kind of really the test rollout. So
wait here, let me get your screen back up. Sorry about that. And then if you want to
it's just taking forever. Okay, let's see. So my channel's not coming up for some reason. I don't know why it's taking so long.
Oh, maybe they're shadow banning you.
Possibly, man. I be out there with some topics sometimes. But one thing I want you guys to check out is I did a panel with Underdog Crypto and the professor. We call him the professor.
Wait here, well, keep going 1 sec. I gotta bounce out for 2 seconds. We'll be right back.
Sure. He's now also a doctor. So Dr. Professor Irfan Akpan, he's an economics professor. We're talking some of the dangers in the metaverse. And if you check out that video, I'll also have a link to Underdog Crypto's video where it's he's showing some neuro stuff that you can actually put on your brain. And there's serious effects to if you actually die in the metaverse if you're wearing this neurotechnology. So we go into some serious deep stuff about the dangers of the metaverse, privacy, keeping your privacy in the metaverse, how it's going to affect jobs. So definitely come over here and check that out. But back to the CBDC stuff. Hopefully it'll come up here. Trying again, doesn't seem to want to come up. But yeah, okay, here we go. So if you want to come over to the channel, it's www.darkhorsewatcher.com. Now, one of the cryptos I mentioned is Cyperium. Cyperium is one of the ones that the FedNow is kind of testing out and using as a instant payment crypto. So that's something you're really going to want to know, okay? There's a whole bunch of different things here on CBDCs and cryptos that you want to check out on the channel, including the fact that I don't know if you guys follow Ripple. Excuse me. Ripple's now a member of the World Economic Forum. So we can kind of expect that SEC thing to kind of go away here pretty soon. So that's some other really nice stuff you want to check out on the channel. But before I go into my next thing, which is climate change in crypto, let me go see if there are any questions right quick. Okay, none. Okay, so
I am back, Mr. Ruell.
Gotcha. So back to the World Economic Forum. So these guys, if you guys don't know who they are, they're old school money, and their founder, Klaus Schwab, says that we'll own nothing and be happy. Many people really have a lot of hate for that phrase. But bottom line is these guys really make power decisions in our world. And they have a lot of money behind them. And one of the biggest things that they're featuring as topics, one of which is climate change. So that's one of the reasons why I'm highlighting climate change and cryptos with you guys today, because the World Economic Forum is pushing it. Okay. And if we go and we look at our own government, and kind of go outside of the World Economic Forum, Biden is also pushing it. Here, July 2022, we have President Biden's executive actions on climate to address extreme heat and boost offshore wind. And then here more recently, Biden and Harris administration launches new climate change portal to help communities navigate climate change impacts. And if you guys haven't been keeping track of what's going on in the world, we got a heat dome gripping California, record-breaking floods in the South and Midwest. I know Aaron's up there in Detroit, so I know my sisters and somewhat they experienced the floods. Um, Western drought sustaining the water supplies that millions depend on. So I know that if you guys have been keeping up with the news, they're having droughts in Mississippi. Um, that's one of the places with droughts. Um, so this climate change thing is really, really being hit upon, and I think what it's going to lead to for us is carbon credits and CBDCs, really. Um, so I earmarked a couple cryptos that we really have to take a look at because they're focusing on that whole issue. Okay. The three cryptos are Energy Web Token, Power Ledger, and Dovu. Okay. Now, the first one of those that we'll tackle is Energy Web Token. The reason why we'll tackle this one is because BlackRock called it out in a newsletter. So that's absolutely huge. And it surged after that. This was here in August. Here, my mouse is being crazy again, guys. Sorry. And hopefully that comes up. Okay, there we go. So Energy Web Token jumps 21%, 25% after BlackRock decarbonization project gives it a shout out. So if we go down here and like peruse the article a little bit, you'll see that they gave him a shout out in a newsletter. Sorry, my mouse is going crazy again, so
All good, sir.
I'm off of wherever we were. Okay, sorry, I got to go down again and try to do that. This mouse is going crazy. Sorry. Okay, so NG Web token jumped 25% to a high of 318 Thursday after it was mentioned in BlackRock press release. So I think it's back to kind of like, okay, so 391, which is pretty good. If we come over here and look at it, it had reached highs of $20. So here at 391, we got a literal like 5x if it gets back to those highs. And in the next Bitcoin halving, I think everything will break its high, its previous high. So I think this is a pretty good price here. But as Aaron and I have already said, with the Fed probably raising rates and whatnot, we'll probably see lower rates or lower prices in the next 2 days. So that's one, Energy Web Token. Another one is Power Ledger. Now, Power Ledger was one of the cryptos that was called out by the SEC as quote unquote securities, even though it doesn't have the right to just call a crypto out like that and say it's a security. Some of the ones that they called out are literally ones that are like LCX, which is a member of the World Economic Forum. So to me, that was just like that held no substance because you're definitely not you're not doing anything to LCX. They're run by the World Economic Forum. That's just not happening.
I'm with you there. I agree.
So yeah, I really think that whole thing was a little bit of a like kind of charades or just play. Like it didn't hold much water. So if we go and look at Power Ledger's website, we'll see they heavily kind of talk about decarbonization and like wanting to support that. Oh my God, this mouse is going to drive me nuts. Okay, and if we come down here, we look at some of their projects where they're really pushing the green energy. A power station here in India where you see tons of solar panels. An energy group here in Thailand where they're talking about environmental energy. Green energy water plant here in France. So they're really pushing this, and they said they've received global recognition, including Richard Branson, who's huge, of course. Um, He has many publicly traded companies like Virgin Galactic, and then the Virgin Galactic Space one, which I can't remember. It was a SPAC. I can't remember the name of it right now. But okay, so this guy is one. And then our last one would be Dovu, but I want to look at the Energy website right quick, because they do really call out decarbonization here. So they have here, and it's kind of, you might not be able to see it, but there's a six-pointed star inside of this whole polygon. So for you that know what that means. But here we have energy, digitalization, users, decentralization, assets, and decarbonization. Now, me personally, I think the whole energy thing is overblown. I think I've heard people say before, like, okay, we can all fit, all the people in the world, shoulder to shoulder, can fit in Australia. All the people, shoulder to shoulder in the world, can fit in like Texas. Like I've heard that said. So to me, if that's the case, and we have all this different land here, and we could just farm it, then like, okay, where's the problem? But this is what the World Economic Forum is supporting. This is what they're pushing. So there's tons of money behind it. So, like I said, these guys were called out by BlackRock. So we can probably see these guys really be like in the forefront coming up here. The last one we're going to talk about is Dovu. This one's definitely like the smallest of the three. You can only buy this on 1inch and Uniswap. Um, if we come over here and take a look, they're built on Hedera Hashgraph. If you guys aren't familiar with Hedera Hashgraph, they're another LCX partner. So they're huge, huge, huge into the World Economic Forum type of deal. They've been helping out with CBDCs. Again, if you come over to my channel, you can watch tons of different content on Hedera. And like you can see it right here. Hedera partner, or LCX partner, Hedera leading the way in CBDCs. Um, they're definitely like hugely connected. So the fact that this project is ran on Hedera Hashgraph, we can assume that they may have some of the same connections because they're ran on that blockchain. And if we go look at Hedera Hashgraph's website, we see that they're owned and governed by like America's like biggest companies, Boeing, Google, IBM, and even bigger companies around the world like T-Mobile, um, Wipro, which is big in India, Nomura, which is big in Japan, Shinhan Bank, which is big in Korea, um, like just so many big companies, LG. So, and this is why a lot of people in the whole crypto space, like Charles Hoskinson, don't like Hedera because they're so corporate. It's not really about the people. It's more corporate pushed, or more of a corporate push crypto. Um, so yeah, but in saying that too, there's an opportunity here with Hedera as well because they're going to be heavy into CBDCs. So we mentioned a few different cryptos right quick. We mentioned Hedera, we mentioned Dovu, we mentioned Power Ledger, we mentioned Energy Web Token. We also mentioned Cyperium, which is one again heavily, heavily, heavily involved in CBDCs. Let me see if there are any questions about that out here.
Let's see. Nope. Looks like we've still only gotten the 2 comments from GT so far. So, for those of you out there watching us, I'm gonna throw a tweet out there so if we can't get some more people in here. It's more fun when the chat's more active. But if you guys have any questions, anything you want to know about Bitcoin, World Economic Forum, whatever you want to know, drop it in the chat. We can have a discussion about.
Right. So I think since we're kind of on the whole CBDC topic, I guess I'll delve deeper into that until you guys have some questions. Now, remember I mentioned Cyperium, right? If we go look on the FedNow's website, you can see Cyperium is showcased here. And if we go take a look at like FedNow on Twitter, we kind of get an idea of who these guys are. That's loading. Okay. I think it's EGR services or something over here. EGR. Or is it FedNow? There's some weird name over here that's not what I think it is. Let me see if I can find it via the website here. I'm going to be mad if I can't pull up their Twitter. Okay, I might not be able to fill out their Twitter. I had it before. Wait a minute. Okay, I know how I can find their Twitter. I know they're followed by Quant, which is another CBDC crypto, and we can get into that as well right quick. But let's go look at Quant, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to find this FedNow one. Okay, there's Quant. Okay, I have a ton of people that follow Quant, but hopefully FedNow also follows them. I would think that they would. Yet I don't see them on the list yet. Okay, I guess I got a ton of people on my list that follow Quant. I believe it's something like EGR services. Oh, I'm not going to be able to find it. Let's just see what happens when we type in FedNow. Maybe I'll find it. Okay, apparently I'm just not going to be able to find it. But anyway, if we went on their website, we would see that they are who they say they are, and you can see here a whole bunch of stuff with Cyperium with people when I'm saying FedNow. Okay, and you can see Cyperium is talking about FedNow. You go over there and follow them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious what Bitcoin will do tomorrow on the announcement, because I feel like it's just like the expectation is that Powell will come out hawkish, right? I feel like he's going to come out talking tough and saying, hey, we're going to need to do whatever it is we need to do to bring down inflation. And I just don't know how that's going to be really any different than what's already been going on, you know?
Yeah, and I think he's just going to continue to push it, just like you're saying. And but the thing is, people are just gonna just use that as a reason to be short the market. Yeah, I just think people are going to use that as a reason to be short the market, and it's just going to go lower. And I know what you're saying. Like, okay, like that's. I mean, it's been this way for how long, right? Um, yeah, I just think it just keeps going.
Yeah.
And just like you were saying, that expectation did hit crypto pretty hard today too. If we look at the chart, it did hit it pretty hard today, because this is the first time we've been in the solid 18s in quite a while.
Yeah. Well, again, if you guys are new or not new, but just have joined us, if you have any questions, drop them in the chat. We're talking about where we think Bitcoin will go and how it may react tomorrow. Again, none of this is investment advice. We're just here to chat.
Correct. So we mentioned Quant here. Let me bring up Quant. So we see Quant and LCX. They're pretty heavy in the CBDC world. If we go take a look at this LCX announcement here, April 2021, you can see Quant uses LCX as a partner to enable DLT, which is distributed ledger technology, basically blockchain interoperability. Quant and crypto asset pioneer LCX partnership will further accelerate the progression towards central bank digital currencies. So it's pretty much happening, guys. I don't know. What's your feeling, Aaron, on CBDCs?
I mean, I think I think the more you have institutions like that getting involved, it's a sign that crypto will be here to stay. With that said, it kind of takes away from the whole idea of crypto in the first place, for it to be decentralized, right? It's literally a central bank making a crypto, so it's kind of counterintuitive. So I don't know. I guess I have mixed opinions.
100%. That's kind of where I am at with it too. CBDCs are cool because you think like, okay, instant payments, that's gonna be like the best thing, right? But I could see in a world where we deal with a lot of let's just say like a lot of different ailments, right? Where you possibly or possibly not have to like do something like, get something injected, to get rid of it, right? Or to prevent it. In a world where we're dealing with quote unquote those type of ailments, I could easily see the powers that be say like, okay, no more cash, we're going with CBDC now.
Right.
And yeah, so um, I don't know if you guys are familiar, Aaron, if you're familiar with what happened in Canada with the truckers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the powers that be, Trudeau, they actually cut them off from crypto. They cut them off from even their bank accounts. But the one thing they did have was cash.
Well, I think, yeah, maybe on they were doing that too, but it was also on the private side too. Like I know GoFundMe themselves cut off, without even the government having to intervene.
Yeah, so it was yeah, they hit them with the full the full force of everything, right? So, but the one thing they could not keep from them is cash. So if someone wanted to give them cash, they were free to do that.
Cash
Now,
is king, baby.
exactly, right? But flash forward in a society where it's like, okay, it's only CBDCs, and have you ever heard of the ESG?
Have I heard of ESG?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so the ESG is like, I think they call it like the environmental social something.
Governance. Yep.
Yeah, so it's all about kind of like a social score that they give companies. And for right now, it's just companies. Now, who makes those rules? Who's 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 to say when you're socially right or environmentally right? These truckers were just protesting like high gas rates and different like supply chain issues. Like they were protesting that. But then
Right.
imagine like if there was a ESG, then boom, like okay, truckers you're cut off, and now you don't have cash because there's only CBDCs because of health concerns or whatnot. That personally scares me as a citizen, to be honest.
Yeah.
as a citizen, that really frightens me. So um, that makes me think, okay, then maybe it might be important to have crypto around where you own your keys, you have your crypto, on your hardware wallet. No one can cut it off like they did kind of with Russia and Ukraine, right? They cut off MetaMask there. Um, if you own your crypto and you have your keys and you have something that's either like you don't necessarily have to have a privacy coin, but you could. But if you have something like Bitcoin or something like eCash, now like the cash is in your hand. Um, and you have a cash alternative in case cash ever gets banned. What do you think about that, Aaron?
I think I think crypto's best use case is in times and areas where there is any governments or people trying to step in and stop in payments. It's not just I think there's a lot of instances of that happening where crypto is able to be that conduit between, if I'm trying to send money to someone in Russia, for say right now, if I had family back in Russia, Western Union maybe might not let me, or some companies might not let you right now. So having crypto to be able to do that, I think, is a great use case. I don't know how I feel about the central banks putting the cryptos out there, but we'll see.
Yeah, that's where I always have I'm like strictly kind of like right on the middle of the fence because it's like, okay, I'm invested in cryptos like Hedera, like LCX, like cryptos that will support that type of regulation, right? Um, but on the same token, I understand where there would be a need for the people to have a crypto like eCash or crypto like Bitcoin or crypto like Monero or crypto like a Pirate Chain or Haven, these type of privacy coins where you can be in control of your own money. So I really kind of stay on the fence. Like there should be both sides. That's kind of how I feel. Like for those who want regulation, they can have the LCXs and whatnot. And for those who want sovereignty or control of their own money, they can have the Bitcoin. They can have the privacy coins. I feel like there's no there's no moral wrong there. There's no social wrong there in my mind.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah, yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. I know a lot of people have a lot of problems with investing in coins that might be related to the World Economic Forum, but I feel like, you know, as a good investor, you should really be diversified in both areas. That's where I'm at with that one. Um, and I'm really looking to also, if we go back again to the World Economic Forum, besides climate change, one of the big topics they have as featured topics is the metaverse. Now, I really think with the way the climate change is going, with the rate, because I don't know if you were aware, Aaron, but many cities like Detroit have had like increasing energy costs. Um, if we come over here, I have an article from Reuters where they were saying British households average energy costs jumped 80%. And this was an article from August of this year. So I think we're slowly creeping towards, again, carbon credits, but also we're creeping towards if energy costs this much, you're gonna stop using energy. You're gonna stop using quote unquote carbon. You're gonna stop going places, so you're gonna be in your house more. So if you're in your house more, that means that you're probably going to be tempted to use the metaverse more, especially since Solana, Ethereum, and Polygon are moving to phones now. So then, okay, cool. Then you're really, really set up for the metaverse. And if we take a look at a lot of the metaverse coins, um, one of which Seek, which I'm really, really high on, still been high on, even though it's very low right now. Um, Sitting here about like 13, 14 cents. Such a bargain considering it was as high as $1, over $1. So basically that's like a 10x there. If we look at a coin like sorry, this is moving slowly. Sandbox, I believe it's under $1 now. And it was as high as like $3, I believe. If this will go ahead and load. Or maybe not. Let me see. I'll close some things down. I think it's trying to play that Reuters thing. Okay. I should have better internet soon, guys. Sorry about that.
All good, man.
Okay, for whatever reason, it doesn't seem to be able to find sand. But since I know it's one of the top 100 cryptos, I will just come over here and look in the list because that's what I'm relegated to right now. Okay, that reminds me of another one. ApeCoin, and my views on the Bored Ape project have changed a lot. If you guys have some time, come over and check me out on Rockfin as well. Do I have my Rockfin up over here? Yes, I do. It's another one of those sites that seems to be spooling, even though I'm not watching anything.
Huh. Well, at least you still look and sound good.
Thank you. Yeah, guys. So check me out on Rockfin. It's at Blackroot. I know a lot of people don't know that Rockfin exists as a platform, but it's a platform which doesn't really censor. So I know a lot of people have a really big problem with YouTube in that. So this is another area, and I talk about things over here that could tend to be censored. One of which is I talk about the Bored Ape Yacht Club and some of the like like NAZI type deals that they subjects that they do with their project. Even the whole reference to the ape is a thing that could be like promoting
Construed
hate.
as racist.
Right. And like as a black man, I'm always very cautious about how I play the race card. But if you guys look at my profile here and like watch this video, I have a link to a video from this guy Philian, or Philian, I think is how he says his name. It goes into a great depth about what's going on. It's like an hour-long video, but I watch everything 1.5 times speed, and it really goes into the references that like they're glaring. It's not like, oh, like it's not like a victimhood calling something racist and it's not type deal. It's like these are blatant things like one ape has like a Nazi World War II helmet, and he just it's on the ape's head. And then there's just so many things that I can't even get into all of it. You guys would be better off watching that. So I'm like, and especially after how this last um what was it? Their virtual land drop thing went, and they said they were gonna have all these waves, and they didn't. They basically kind of lied to they lied to everyone there and many people like me did end up losing money. Um, I go back and I look at that, and the more I think about it, I think that someone just exploited that whole deal, and they didn't do the stuff that they needed to kind of wrap that thing up properly. Um, but needless to say, they pretty much they lied to all of us who was like pre-registered for that, and they did nothing really to correct it at all, other than like returning gas money, which really it didn't it didn't solve the problem. It didn't make everyone whole from their losses there. But I definitely check out that video. I'm not sure about if I could just like morally invest in those guys after seeing that video.
Yeah, I
But
never have. I'll have to check that out.
yeah, definitely check that video out. He goes very deep into. They even had like this puzzle, and the puzzle like referenced a lot of like Nazi type people, and it's just like it's ridiculous. Not only is it just racist, towards blacks. It's anti-Semitic. It's racist towards Asians. And, it's just I don't even know if I can invest in that anymore. But here we go. Finally at the sandbox, under 84 cents, I think is a really big deal. And if you go look at the sandbox, there's people in there like Snoop Dogg. There's people in there like the Warner Music, which is like one of the biggest music like companies ever. Um, like they don't have plots and land in here for no reason. They're just waiting until everything just really fully gets rolled out. Now, say something happens, like I'm not saying that it will happen, but just say that something happens in which, like, okay, like the way energy costs are going right now, and what if something else happened with sickness or whatnot, and people are kind of gotta just like chill in their house. Maybe the metaverse sees a really big push. Um, Maybe it sees a really big push. So seeing as how sandbox, oh, I didn't even realize it went to 8. I thought it went to like about 3. So here sitting at 84 cents, it's such a really big deal right now. That's like over a 10x, where it sits right now. Again, view this through the lens of it's crypto's probably going to go lower after this whole Fed thing, but there's always averaging in, right? So metaverse is another one of those areas I'm going to hit pretty heavy, just because I know that the World Economic Forum is going to push it with all the resources that they have behind them. So yeah, that's something that I'm looking at heavy. And one of the ones that I'm looking at are Sandbox, Seek, and Decentraland. We didn't show them yet, but and you like use your own discretion with Board Ape Yacht Club. I mean, if that's something that you want to buy, just knowing that hey, it's going to be something that's pushed, like Madonna's managers on it and stuff like that. Um, and they have all these different um, celebrities that own them. And if you look at the Board Ape, like the video I was telling you about that I have a link to on my Rockfin, they go into kind of why the athletes kind of own them. So
Interesting.
yeah, so it's pretty it's a pretty big deal. But I don't know if I could in good conscience just do that knowing what they're kind of doing. So
Right.
yeah, guys.
Yeah, here, let me make sure we got I'm gonna link in the chat to your YouTube real quick so anyone can go over there and subscribe.
Okay, and then before I sign off here, guys, I'm going to go more deep into the metaverse here on Gentlemen of Crypto, which is another YouTube channel which I really blessed and
Damn, okay, Ruell, up to almost 1,300 subscribers.
Yes, man. And remember when we first started the show, I was probably at like 300 or something like that.
Yeah, I don't even know with that, but hell yeah, man.
So I'm really blessed and privileged to have a show on both of these channels. And I really thank the people at Benzinga, including this guy over here on the other side.
Always fun hanging out with you, man.
For sure, brother, for sure. So definitely come out. I'm going to be on General Crypto tomorrow at 6 Pacific, so that'll be 9 Eastern, and we're going to be going more deep into the metaverse and things that I think are going to be like really dope in the metaverse, like owning virtual land and stuff like that, and just like how you can take advantage of possibly earning money in the metaverse.
Awesome, man. Well, guys, thank you to everyone who's tuned in tonight. Coming up on 8 p.m. Eastern time. Ruell, always a pleasure. Any final words?
Brother. That's pretty much it, guys. Just join us back over here. We should be back on Monday.
Monday, yep.
And we'll have some more crypto action, and let's build these bags until the next Bitcoin halving in 2024.
Awesome, man. All right, well, enjoy the rest of your Tuesday. I know it was a little bit different this week, so we'll be back next Monday. Till then, peace and love, guys.
Peace, guys.
This is Ben.